uplift, shift, and transform. Salutations, I am Paulina, grateful for the opportunity to join you on your NDE YouTube platform. My early years were different from most. I had a sense of things beyond the ordinary. There were moments that some might label as spooky or deeply spiritual. I encountered entities and realms during my childhood. When I was in my mid-20s, I got hit with a sudden illness that landed me in an emergency situation. I remember being in the back seat of a car on the way to the hospital. It was just me, the driver, and another person up front. As we drove, I leaned against the window, staring up at the night sky, taking in the stars. I focused on my breath, feeling this strange sensation, like there was a blue eye at the top of my forehead or crown chakra. It felt like it was gently pulling me out, not forcefully, but like an invitation. Suddenly, I wasn't in my body anymore. I was journeying through space. With each breath, I ventured deeper into the cosmos. At first, I could see the car, the trees, the road, and the people inside it. Then, I rose higher, seeing towns and cities in the distance before being swallowed by the vastness of the universe. I watched the planets, listened to the sounds of the cosmos, feeling this intense connection to everything. It was like I belonged there. I felt the elements, air, earth, fire, and water, flowing through me, breaking down the barriers of my physical form. Eventually, I found myself in this corridor of light, where the feeling of belonging grew stronger. The light surrounded me with a bunch of doors ahead, inviting me to explore further. I could sense the doors. They weren't closed, but slightly open or moving with the breeze. I could step through any of them and discover more about myself and the universe. While I was there, I felt incredibly inspired, with this overwhelming sense of love as the core of everything. Love was everywhere. Anything that didn't feel like love was just love in disguise or a shift in vibration. In that deep connection, I felt like I was truly where I belonged. It was an incredible experience, with memories of past lives flooding back to me. I already had some understanding of past lives, but in that moment, it was like the floodgates opened, making those memories clearer. I realized that we're not just our bodies, thoughts, or emotions. We're consciousness experiencing itself. I felt deeply connected, surrounded by beings who didn't need words to communicate but conveyed this sense of joyous belonging. Though I can't say how long I was there, I knew something was activated and my energy shifted as it should. Then I was pulled back into my body because the person up front couldn't find a pulse and was getting worried. Over the next few days, I found myself leaving my body and returning to what I call the CEC, spiritual consciousness experience, repeatedly. It was clear that my higher self needed to merge back with my physical self properly. Water played a big role in this process, helping me anchor back into my body for longer periods. Eventually, I turned my focus to healing the body that had taken a hit during the illness. There's a big forgetting that happens when we come into a body, a lifetime, and this physical world. It's like we're programmed to forget, to think that we are just our thoughts, emotions, and ego. Though the ego and soul can coexist harmoniously, many of us primarily operate from the ego rather than the soul. Awakening to our soul's potential reveals that these aspects are merely how we perceive the world and not our true essence. A significant portion of our suffering arises from closely identifying with these aspects of ourselves. Yet, acknowledging this doesn't make dealing with pain, trauma, or difficult experiences any easier. It's essential to understand that there isn't some higher power deliberately causing our suffering. Our journey entails spiritually liberating ourselves and reclaiming our authentic selves. Despite the notion of a fall of consciousness or punishment, it's more about recognizing our capacity for growth, change, and spiritual evolution. This process involves allowing the ego to settle and realizing that we are not defined by our emotions or traumas, but rather by the energy we emit at various frequencies. These frequencies are influenced by factors like sound, energetic patterns, and non-physical elements such as light. In embarking on this healing journey, it's vital to engage with our experiences, learn from them, and recognize that we extend beyond our physical bodies. Developing soul awareness and exploring our energetic nature are crucial components of this process. What I aim to convey is a pragmatic approach, a method of working with ourselves without judgment or criticism. Healing frequencies exist that can target specific parts of the body, including joints, organs, bones, and tissues. Light, the most potent healer, serves as a reminder that we are beings of light having a human experience. Healing modalities encompass various techniques from hands-on healing to sound therapy to exposure to sunlight and more. Each individual resonates differently with these methods. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. Sound frequency, in particular, has been utilized throughout history in earth-based cultures, employing drums, bells, rattles, and other tools to shift energy. Stagnant energy can lead to a host of health issues, including fatigue and mental fog. Elevating our vibration, working with light, and embracing unseen energies can help counteract this stagnation. Sound therapy, including chanting and toning, serves as another potent method for healing and aligning frequencies, especially in group settings. It's crucial to explore the invisible realms within ourselves, whether through visions, auditory perceptions, intuitive feelings, or olfactory sensations, to uncover clues for self-healing. Trusting our intuition and innate knowing can guide us on our healing journey and eventually empower us to assist others. Ultimately, the person we heal most profoundly is ourselves. By embarking on our own healing journey, we naturally radiate that energy to others without conscious effort. Simply by being ourselves, we emit and receive energy. The objective is to raise our frequencies and embody the light beings that we truly are. Trauma and pain, alongside thinking and trauma patterns, are akin to frequencies. They manifest as energetic patterns. Healing frequencies possess the power to shift and reshape these patterns, lifting them with the vibration of healing energy. Energies involves visualizing roots extending deep into Mother Earth. Ground yourself daily by welcoming her energies to rise through you, releasing trauma and fostering balance. Then direct your attention to your heart center, attuning to the rhythm of both your own heartbeat and that of Mother Earth. Another approach is to connect with the cosmic realm by inviting higher frequencies down through your crown chakra. Trust in your intention to attract energies that serve your highest good. Engaging in this practice of linking with both earth and cosmic frequencies aids in maintaining grounding and balance. Regularly practicing this grounding exercise can help sustain alignment with earth and cosmic energies. It holds particular potency during equinoxes and solstices, periods marked by heightened solar energy and conducive to shedding and shifting. Set intentions for desired changes or simply remain receptive to transformation. Roughly 10 years back, something big happened. I was deeply into an important project when a disagreement popped up with a coworker. We couldn't agree on how to use our limited team resources. I wanted to prioritize our project, but my coworker was adamant about putting resources into his own project. This led to a big argument, and it really affected how I felt after work. Seeking comfort later in the evening around 10 p.m., I made a risky decision to drive despite feeling tired and ignoring safety rules. As tiredness crept over me, my eyelids became heavy and my focus blurred. Suddenly, a car horn jolted me awake as another vehicle appeared. Panicked, I veered off the road, crashing into a utility pole. The crash left me confused, with a throbbing headache and blurred vision from the impact. I felt like I was teetering between consciousness and darkness, drawn into obscurity by an unknown force. In the shadows, I heard my name echoed, and struggling to lift my head, I saw a captivating figure with long, golden hair and deep blue eyes shining with compassion. Dressed in a flowing white robe, the figure seemed to emit light and love. The figure reached out, urging me to take their hand, saying, "Come, we need to hurry." Despite my confusion, I took their hand, feeling weightless as my soul seemed to leave my body, floating in a mysterious space. Rising into the night sky, I looked down to see grotesque creatures below, monstrous beings with twisted bodies and terrifying features. Despite their frightening appearance, the figure's warmth comforted me as we flew away. These creatures tried to drag me into darkness, but the figure assured me of safety, explaining that they were cursed spirits. Her voice brought peace as she guided me on this mystical journey. Curious, I asked where we were headed. The figure smiled and revealed, "I will take you to heaven." This surprised me, given my skepticism after losing my best friend in a traffic accident years ago. As we approached, the figure released my hand and led me to a remarkable circular structure with intricately carved doors. The building had an ancient and mysterious feel. As the gates opened, I felt a mix of excitement and unease, but the presence of angels reassured me. Inside, I saw a magnificent figure seated on a throne amidst a soft glow. Through the brilliance, I recognized Jesus. He welcomed me warmly, promising to answer all my questions. Explaining my fatal mistake of drinking and driving, I felt guilt and shame, knowing there were no secrets here. Jesus assured me this wasn't punishment. It wasn't my judgment day yet. Jesus gently urged me to reflect on my past actions, his sigh conveying disappointment and the importance of self-examination. He said, "You're here to think about what you've done." Instantly, memories of the car accident flooded my mind. The crash, the couple killed instantly, and their daughter left paralyzed. Witnessing this, I cried out, questioning why I had to witness such pain. Jesus explained it was meant to inspire me to become a better person. Uncertain about what awaited me or the significance of this place, I felt frustrated and condemned myself. Feeling like a mess, I began to doubt my worth. Jesus comforted me, advising against excessive self-blame. He stressed that my purpose here wasn't to wallow in self-doubt, but to understand a crucial truth. Everyone makes mistakes, but those mistakes shouldn't define the future. I felt understood and accepted, freeing myself from the isolation and self-consciousness I had felt. In further conversations, Jesus cautioned about humanity's tendency to repeat its own mistakes. He illustrated this with vivid images from history, brutal battles, industrial warfare, and the horrors of World War II, including the bombing of Hiroshima. These images depicted the harsh reality of war. Transported to a future conflict where millions died and cities crumbled from nuclear explosions, I pondered the seemingly endless cycle of destruction. Jesus, expressing disappointment, emphasized humanity's inclination to repeat such tragedies. His warning carried the responsibility to break this cycle and strive for a better future. A catastrophic disaster unfolded, causing immense harm to society. Another nuclear explosion occurred in South America, plunging the continent into war and unimaginable suffering. Missiles seemed to launch from Asia, stirring doubt and pain within me. Turning to Jesus, I asked why he couldn't intervene in this bleak future. My question seemed to upset Jesus. His smile faded, replaced by anger. He asked why they should intervene when most people had rejected them and lost faith. Shocked, I learned from Jesus that my Father had considered humanity's destruction, but ultimately gave them another chance. He instructed me to convey a warning. Ignoring advice would lead to destruction once more. With urgency in his demeanor, Jesus prepared to send me back to the real world, filling me with warmth and strength. Our conversation ended, and he slowly disappeared. Descending felt like landing on an unseen path, accompanied by strong vibrations, a sensation similar to crossing the border of time and space. Reconnecting with my body, I heard tapping on my car window. A doctor and paramedic assured me of their presence to help, quickly transporting me to the hospital. In the hospital, I underwent various tests, including checking my blood alcohol level, which thankfully showed 0. Many years later, I found the courage to share this story, acknowledging the fear and unease it brings. Some may doubt its truth, and I too have questioned its reality at times. I share not for sympathy, but to convey an important message. Jesus is coming. It's an urgent and crucial message,